Hey, what is up guys, Gioco here, and today's video is going to be another GOT format deck profile. So this is the first personal deck that I'll bring to my channel, and it's of course a water deck. I will bring also other decks later in the future, I promise. I just would like to share with you also this format because it's pretty crazy and really nice to play, and it's really fun to play. So let's get started, and I hope you enjoy it. So this version is with the lock. You can lock the opponent out, and let's see how. So for the monsters, you got one Mobius. You can play also a couple of them if you want, but I prefer having one because sometimes I brick with 2 copies of this, so one is fine. You can run the other one in the side deck if you want. Then 2 copies of the Abbey Soldier. This card is amazing. It's semi-limited in the gold format. You discard 1 water in order to bounce 1 card on the field directly to the opponent's hand, and that's crazy because you can bounce the back rows, and you can bounce also the monsters that are set on the field. So even if they got something set on the field, you can discard 1 and bounce 1. And especially if you bounce the Sinister Serpent, is amazing. Then for the other level 4s, we got 2 copies of Mother Grizzly. Not 3 because sometimes can brick. It's the same reasoning other people is doing. But 2 is fine. You can also set it or just shift control to your opponent. Attack on this and then special summon the other one from the deck. It's a really cheeky play you can do. Then at level 4s, we got 2 copies of Aqua Spirit and in the one Fenrir. Aqua Spirit is cool because it requires just 1 water monster, but that's it. And then the Fenrir requires 2 water monsters to be banished in order to summon this. And if this destroys an opponent's monster, the opponent will skip the next draw phase, which is really important in the God format. So that's the reason why I'm not playing 3 copies of this, but just 1 copy of Fenrir and 2 copies of Aqua Spirit. Then also the secondary effect of Aqua Spirit is pretty cool. Allows you to change the position of a face-up monster during the opponent's standby phase, and that monster cannot change the position anymore for the rest of the turn. Then the other level 4s are 1 Jelly here. The Jelly guy here is fine. I just wanted to play because I like the artwork. I have to be honest. But it's cool. It's a water monster, first of all, and then if it got destroyed by battle, you can pay 1000 life points and get it on the field once again in the next standby phase. The one Virus, Tribe Infective Virus, which is one of the strongest cards in the God format, and especially in this deck is really crazy. Not once per turn. Then the one Yomi Ship. This card outs everything. Also, you can crush yourself against something in order to destroy it. Then 2 copies of Penguin Soldier that are basically the reason why I built this deck and decided to build this deck. This card is really cool and really cute. I'm in love with this card since I was a child. I really like the artwork, and the fact that this card is playable in this format makes me happy. And this card is strong because if the opponent attacks on this, you can bounce 2 opponent's monster, and it's even more strong. It's even stronger if you are able to keep this on your side of the field and then flip it and bounce this plus an opponent's monster, and then you can set it once again. So it's pretty disappointing of a card for the opponent, I assure you. Then the one Serpent. This card is crazy. It's literally nuts in this deck. Then 2 copies of Magician of Faith. This is not water, but they are required to play, and the one Night Silent to end off with the monsters. This is cool because when discarded, allows you to take back 1 flip effect monster, so you can take back your Magician of Faith or even the Penguin Soldier, which is a flip effect, and that's really important for the economy of the deck. Then for the spell cards, I talk about the lock you can do, and the lock is performed by playing 2 copies of a Legendary Ocean and 2 copies of limit level area B. I think that's the name in English, and level limit area B. Yeah, and these two cards together are really cool. So you can use this to stall. It's like a Swords of Revealing Light for you, but in addition to the Legendary Ocean, it's nuts. It's basically nuts because Legendary Ocean will reduce your water monster's level by 1, and you're running a lot of level 4s, as you saw before. So in this way, with these two cards on the field, basically your monster will not be shifted into defense position, but the opponent's monster will be shifted in defense position. So this allows you to take a lot of advantage over your opponent monsters, and this also give a boost to your monsters as well. Then for the draw cards, we got one Graceful Charity and the one Pot of Greed, of course. And I also added card destruction because in this deck is pretty cool. First of all, you can discard something like the Night Assailant, and secondly, and maybe most importantly, you can discard some water fodder in order to special summon your Aqua Spirit or your Fenrir, which are really important because in this deck you cannot play something like the BLS or the Chaos Sorcerer, so you need some special summon fodder, and you can find this in the form of Aqua Spirit and Fenrir. Nothing more, nothing less. So that's the main reason behind the card destruction. Then 2 copies of Nobleman of the Crossout. This card is nuts. You have to play 2, you know. Then the one Heavy Storm and the one MST, the one Snatch Steel, the one Hammer. The Hammer is required in this deck, in my opinion, because as you saw, we don't have really huge bit sticks. So most of the times, the majority of the opponent's monsters are higher in attack, and so that's the reason why you play the Hammer, so you can destroy them in an easy way. So not cards like Fisher. This one is stronger in this deck. Then the one Lightning Vortex, you can discard your Serpent, of course. The one Creature Swap together with the one Scapegoat, and these two cards together are really strong because you can just shift one Scapegoat in attack position and then give it to your opponent. I would like to try also another version of this deck without the lockdown. So this is the lockdown version with the Legendary Ocean and level limit area B. I would like to try 2 copies of Scapegoat and 2 copies of Creature Swap together with another card that is called Amoeba, that when shifted to your opponent, it's a water monster, will inflict 2000 damage to the opponent. So if I can find these 2 Amoebas, I will for sure provide a new deck profile about this deck. Then the one Delinquent Duo, because it's really too strong starting off with this, is pretty much crazy. And the one Book of Moon, to flip again the flip monsters and also to defend yourself from the opponent's monsters. Then for the trap cards, we got one Ring of Destruction because we can deal more damage, the one Duration Tributes, and then as battle traps we got the one Sakuretsu Armor, the one Mirror Force, and then last but not least, the last card I added after a bit of testing, and that's the card that allowed me to win a couple of games actually, is this one. This card is crazy. It's a well-rounded card, and especially in this deck makes sense because you banish cards a lot. You can easily count on the opponent's nobleman of Crossout, but with the help of Fenrir and Aqua Spirit, you already banished 4 cards. So if you pay attention and just banish cards that have the higher attacks, you can end the game with this card. Always, if you activate and resolve this, you will end the game. And as you saw in the spell cards, I have nothing to reborn my monsters from the graveyard because my strategy goes around this as well. So I don't run something like Call of the Hunted or the Premature Burial. so that I can banish all my monsters that have the higher attacks in order to wait for this one to come out, activating this and end the game in an easy way. So that's it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really like this deck really a lot, and I suggest you to try the GOAT format and to try this deck as well, just to see some other decks, because in the GOAT format you have a lot of chances, a lot of opportunities as well, even if a lot of players are just playing the Light and Darkness, which is really strong, maybe the stronger, but just have fun playing GOAT format, because that's the reason why we play GOAT format, right? So that's it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to support me, consider backing me on PayPal. Everything will be accepted and really appreciated. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, support me as well, and see you in the next one.